Well, it was disappointing. Not just the result; the performance was poor. There was a lethargy. There was a lack of intent about them. I saw the lineup, and I kind of understood what he was thinking. He played a 4-3-3, and the three up front were really narrow. And Gary Neville spotted it quite well, and most people would have spotted it who know football. And the reason I think he played the three narrow is because when Tottenham he expected them, when they had a turnover of possession, to be able to get Son and Moura down the sides of the centre-halves, because Man City's fullbacks always play high. They always go forward. What happened after 10 minutes is that the fullbacks were basically dominating the game because they were free. They were getting into the Tottenham final third so easily and under so little pressure because they were letting them go and, in effect, creating an 8v7. And if you get an overload against City, I mean, you're gonna get outplayed. You're gonna get outpassed, and the game should have been done after half an hour. I couldn't believe there wasn't a change. I was absolutely not mortified. No, I wasn't. I was gobsmacked. I couldn't believe I was watching, and I could hear it in Gary Neville's voice. He was kind of kept repeating the same thing. It's like, they're too narrow. The fullbacks are just getting out. They're free. They're dominant. Like, possession. I mean, there was one. I think after 15 minutes, Spurs had 1% of the ball in the City final third. Now, in a final, what you want to do is you want to have the first punch. You want to start on the front foot at least.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't press City for 90 minutes.
Land the first blow.
I get that.
Yeah.
But make it uncomfortable. Let them know they're in for a game. And if you press for 10 minutes and you play high energy, you can always fall back into a defensive shape.
Sure.
But the one thing that I think we'll end up talking about, or we'll get to, and I was talking to Simon about it earlier. I spoke about it in my column on Sunday. Even this magnifies the decision that Daniel made about getting rid of Mourinho, because people talk about Mourinho's Tottenham being negative, but I tell you this much: if Mourinho was in charge of that game, City wouldn't have had the chances they did in the first half an hour. They wouldn't have been set up that way.
Well, funny you should say that, Danny. That is echoed by Paul Robinson, the former Tottenham keeper, who you're going to be hearing from shortly. On Manchester City, though, Simon, what does it tell us about Pep? I mean, should we applaud him more for respecting this trophy as a competition which is often derided, written off in certain quarters?
I don't think it tells us anything we don't already know. The first trophy of the season is the one he wants to win. I'm going to put the Community Shield to one side and talk about the real trophies. First one he wants to win. He gets to finals. He takes them seriously. Man City are the best team in the Premier League. Tottenham are a mile off. And the change of management, if there was any notion that Ryan Mason was going to be a cure for it, it's for the birds. Ryan's come in to do a very difficult job. Danny's right. Spurs in that game would have never let Man City ceded that amount of control to Man City in the first 30 minutes, or that amount of opportunities.
It's the opportunities thing. It's not possession is fine if you're solid and compact, but they were opening them up so easily. Go on, sorry, Simon.
No. We're sort of singing from the same hymn sheet. I look at it and say, Tottenham were in that game to get something from it. If that was getting something from it, then I don't know what their plan was, because ultimately the change. It's just like in the cup final last year, where Frank didn't change Chelsea in the first half because Arsenal kept on getting space down their wing. Saka was making a mincemeat of Chelsea's defence. And managers have got to change, but they've got to know how to change. And Ryan Mason is not a manager. It's unfair to judge him by that performance, because he's been stuck into a situation that Daniel put him in for a variety of reasons, and none of them really are winning football match reasons. Because if you were about winning a football match, or perhaps winning a League Cup final, you wouldn't have taken Mourinho out before it. You might have taken him out after it, and maybe there were financial reasons why he didn't want to take him out after it, because if they won, the challenges might have been slightly more different economically.
Yeah.